anticipate maybe a couple of those young guys who played last year, if they don't make the rotation, could you possibly be looking at redshirting a couple guys there?
Yeah. It doesn't make much sense to play a guy and just not play him very much if he has a chance to continue to get better. So we have a lot of competition there returning. We've got a lot of competition coming in, and we're going to let the pieces shake out come the fall. But guys better start stepping up and making plays. And one guy stepped up that came from nowhere, and that's Malello today. He made plays. Well, guess what? He's going to move ahead of some scholarship players right now. I mean, he deserves a better look, and he deserves to move up the depth chart.
Rich, you talked a little bit about Randall making plays today, and of course he made plays last season, but does he look more like a wide receiver rather than a quarterback kind of converting to a wide receiver?
You know, Randall looks good everywhere he lines up. I mean, he's a good holder, he's a good punt returner, he's a good receiver, and he was a good quarterback. We didn't use any of the Wildcat package today. We're keeping it under wraps for Secret Service, but he's just a real talent. He's a difference maker, and obviously he's a guy that we've got to be able to get the ball in his hands because he can do special things with it.
Michael was special today, didn't he?
Micah has had kind of an up and down spring, but I thought he did very well today. Made some very good plays, and he just needs to get himself focused and on track and ready to go, and he should have a great year.
Coach, could you talk a little bit about Koshik?
Well, Koshik has done some good things on and off this spring. He since I talked about it after I think it was the first or second scrimmage, he's taken it up inside a little tougher. He got dinged again today. Size-wise, that could be a problem moving forward, but he'll have a lot of competition coming in the fall as well from our new players at that position. But he's a guy that that has gained some credibility with what he's done, and he can move up if everything goes well and he takes care of business and he's here in the fall. Then we'll see how it all shakes out.
Could you talk a little bit about Danny Trevathan? I mean, he returns a kick almost to midfield. He has 11 tackles on defense. He's everywhere.
How long has it been since Kentucky's had a linebacker fast enough to return kickoffs? That's the encouraging thing about the speed, I think, of our team. We graduated a couple of really good linebackers in Braxton Kelly and Johnny Williams, and then you put Sam Maxwell and Danny Trevathan on the field, and I promise you, as good as those two guys that graduated were, these two guys, they filled it up this spring. I mean, they had great springs, Sam Maxwell and Danny Trevathan, and Trevathan can run. Now, he got a little worn down, and he's still got some things to learn, but he's a playmaker. He not only has speed, he not only is tough, he's instinctive, and those are great combinations.
Rich, any idea? I know this was a tough day, but you got a kick in the wind, kickoffs, and about competition placement.
Well, the two 48-yard field goals, the first one by Sieber was ugly. I didn't think there was much wrong with the hold and snap, but I'd have to look at it on film. But the other one, the wind was a factor, and I think Ryan was allowing for the wind, and he kicked it, and dang thing the wind didn't move it a lick from right to left. So, there's talent there. The consistency it was a problem last year. I'm not convinced that problem's over. The kickoffs are one of my biggest concerns moving forward into next fall, because field position, which has been our friend in recent years, could be our enemy if we don't do a better job kicking off. And we may have to get very creative with our kickoff schemes and what we're doing, because I don't think we have at this stage anybody, but we didn't have Sieber or Tidlaka kick off much this spring. We had them focus on other things, and Sieber's hip has been bothering him and has settled down now. So we'll look at that over the summer as well and early fall. But kickoffs are a concern at this point.
Really talk about Simmons, number 90. He had one that was kicked off.
Well, he had one. He had a gust, pretty good gale behind that one. But that's the kind of kicks we need. Not only was it the wind took it and carried it, and it was out of the end zone, I think, but it was high. And he through the spring has had the best hang time and the best distance. I wouldn't say that he necessarily has the strongest leg, but every time he's been given a chance, he's kept it in the air and kicked it a little deeper than everybody else. So that's kind of the starting point going into the fall.
Last question. You talked about the Wildcat package, and you kept it under wraps. Could you talk about the possibilities that you got, the coaching staff has this summer, being able to figure out things to do and how they can help you from a preparation standpoint as well?
Well, I think it's a package, and we don't want to get carried away with just putting in 5, 6, 7 plays in a little package. But I think it will give some teams some preparation problems, give them a different look, give them some things to be concerned about, and it'll also be putting the ball in the hands of a guy who can do special things. So, we'll see how the package works. We'll see how much we use it. We'll see how much we expand on it. With success, sometimes you can expand it, and if it's not as successful, it can get decommissioned very quickly too. I'll take one more. Hearing none. Thank you, guys.